Hey everyone, it's Brian here with Two Turntables and a Guy, and I just wanted to do another gear overview on another piece of equipment that I use in my shows. It's the Edirol V4 video mixer. Now in this video what we're going to do is we're just going to go over some of the features that it has and just kind of the overall layout of it, and in future videos we'll show some of the functions in action. So again, if there's any questions or anything, feel free to post comments below this video. We'll have some future videos showing it in action. And right now, let's just take a look at it. All right, what we're looking at right now is the face of the V4 video mixer. It's a 4-channel video mixer, and we'll just go through the overall layout here. What we have here is a crossfader that's basically similar to an audio mixer crossfader, except this has got a big, what they call a T-bar on it. You can also change this out and get a more traditional crossfader like you may be used to in some of your audio mixers. This crossfader can also rotate, so it can either go left to right, or you can rotate it to go up and down. And it's marked with channel B, channel A, and then each channel here is marked as well. You also have these buttons here, which are transformer buttons. Where these come in handy is, let's say you're doing a mix and you just want to kind of stutter in the video. You just kind of tap it, and it will flash in the video signal, and as soon as you let go of the button, it'll go back to the original feed that you have in there, so it'll just flash it in for as long as you hold down the button. You've got selection buttons here and here on both sides, and these are effects buttons. They have specific effects assigned to each button, and they're different on each side. What you have here is strobe, negative, colorize, and multi. What the strobe does is really just that. It kind of acts as a strobe light effect, and it also, for each one of these functions here, you have a control dial where you can dial in or out that specific effect. So for strobe, for instance, you can make it slower or faster. Negative really just does like a negative image of what you're looking at, so it really reverses all the colors in it. It makes it look like a negative, and like an old negative that you used to see when you take pictures. Before we had all these wonderful digital cameras. Colorize adds certain colors to the video signal, and again you can dial in the different color range with that dial. And multi takes your single image that you may have on the screen and can double it, triple it, quadruple it, make just about as many different smaller images as you wish, and again you dial it in with the dial here. On this side here you have a mirror effect, where it will take and create a mirror image of what you're looking at on the screen. Chroma key and luma key, or P&P, which is picture in picture. And that you can move around to different places in the screen as well. With these, because they're different on each side, the nice thing about this mixer is you've got input selects here. So if you wanted, if you were over on this side of the mixer, but you wanted to use one of these effects, what you can do in reality is whatever the input is here, if it's input 2, you can select input 2 over here, bring it over, and then do whatever effects, and then select whatever input you want on this side. So you can really flip back and forth quite easily. In the middle here, we've got transitions, you've got mix, wipe, effects, and a BPM sync. Now with mix, wipe, and effects, there's basically a big manual that comes with this that has all kinds of different transitions in it. And what you do is you go in through the menu and more or less like the programming mode, and you select which ones you want to store into the memory under mix, wipe, effects, and then in your memory dial, which is this one right here, you dial up whichever one you want, and then you press whether you want mix, wipe, effects, and then that will take that transition and use that transition when you're going back and forth with the fader here. There's also a BPM sync. If you press the BPM sync button, what it'll do is it will make the transition go to whatever beat you have selected in the window up here. That you can select by either tapping this to the beat, or you can dial it in with the BPM control dial right here. Like I said before, these are all like menu select buttons that you can get into the internal menus and program everything that you need. Over here you've got an output fade. It takes your main output and you can fade it to white or fade it to black. And then up here you've got your inputs, You've got 4 inputs here for the video signal. You also have a preview out, and you have 2 main outputs. So you can actually send the signal to 2 separate video sources from this mixer. And then you have preview out select buttons. So whatever you're viewing on your preview monitor, you can select whether you want the main output or one of the 4 channels. On the back of the unit here, it's set up, it's got your power button here, your input for your power plug. Over here it's got an S-video output, and it also has an S-video input, but it's only 2 channels of S-video input. These 2 here are your MIDI input and output. What I like about this, and I haven't had a chance to try it yet, is if you have a MIDI audio mixer, like, let's see, I think the Pioneer DJM 700 and 800, I think they both have MIDI capabilities. What you can do is you can plug that into here and you can program your crossfader on the audio mixer to trigger this crossfader here, so you don't have to have an extra set of hands or be doing the audio crossfader with one hand and the video one with another. It will basically sync them together, which I really like the idea of. I just don't have one of those mixers to use it yet, so maybe that'll be a future purchase down the road. But that's a basic overview of this mixer here. Once again, it's the Edirol V4 4-channel video mixer, and definitely something worth looking into if you're looking to get into any video production work or working with mixing with music videos at your shows. So again, if you got any questions or anything, feel free to post a comment below, and hopefully we'll get some videos up soon with this bad boy in action. Practice and enjoy.